I am Eon, and it is Sunday, October 12th, 2025 as I record. Let's look forward to the first set of models that have been released for October 2025. These are figurines, dioramas, characters, lots of different things that just don't perfectly fit in the other categories, and some that double over. First up, 3D Art Guy. 3D Art Guy is releasing all of this sci-fi goodness for the month of October. First up, we have the Dark Prince, and I may have a few of these mislabeled. If so, that's my bad. Some of these come with, a couple of them look a little similar to me. These are Terror Troops, and this is Terror Troops as well, and this is a loyalty reward of a heavily armored Terror Troop. Here we have a Reaper that comes from an alternate universe, a kind of a what-if sort of scenario, and you can see here different poses that he comes with, and I'm not sure how much of the diorama here comes, but pretty cool effect here. Here is a Space Elf Warrior, which I was kind of getting confused with a Hariyanago, and this is a word I'm not familiar with offhand. For the Tribes release, the Cleric, Campsite, and Owlbear is being released over on My Mini Factory for the Tribes members. And this was a release from a couple of months ago, I think, Fantasy. Animal Den Miniatures has put out Peacock Mantis Shrimp, Day Octopus, couple of poses for the octopus, the giant moray eel, and I'm not sure if it's got two R's, that's how they spelled it, so that's how I put it, but it comes also in two poses. This is a clown triggerfish. My, what teeth you have. And a Sumatran tiger bust. Artisan Guild will be over in the fantasy video, but I always like to include the busts if you back at that tier. Bendy Buddies has put out a few. We have the Godfather, Don Corleone. Here we have Nezuko, Demon Slayer. I think I watched one or two episodes of that once. I really need to go back and try to get into it. I hear good things about that anime. Cute Dinosaur Bundle. You have the Parasaurolophus. I can never say that word, but always a favorite of mine. Stegosaurus, cute dinosaur. Such little plates on the back of his back. And the Tyrannosaurus Rex, cute dino. They're always cute when they're so little. Bulkamancer has put out the Golden Wrapper by Kai. This is out until the end of the month. This is kind of pairing with one or two models from the last month. I think it was just one, but there may have been two. Of course, these are inspired by K-pop Demon Hunters, if anyone wants to know the inspiration. I do know that one. Now, this one, I don't know the inspiration for at all. This is the Feet Collectioner, and that is how they spelled it. This is a very interesting model, a lot going on here. It comes with a couple of options for the staff. And then, of course, these are the pieces that go together to make it. I also don't know the inspiration for this. This is Not Dead Yet. She comes with a couple of options. You can put her in a different outfit, and she can either carry a pipe or a lantern. And, of course, this is one also where the painting really makes a big difference. And, wow, she really has been through it. Bless her. And, of course, this is all the different figures and pieces that come together to make the models. Comet Lord Miniatures has some pretty interesting models this month. Here's Nox, Fletchling Magus. Nox, of course, is Latin for night. And maybe it's a play on words there. But wow, okay, so he's that void in his chest. I guess, is that where he stores his sword? Okay. Arcanians. Arachnians. Okay, now if I say it right, I can say it right. Arachnians come in a few different styles. I always knew them mostly as Driders, but they're a little bit more spider than perhaps. Here's a God Skull spider, and I think this is only in one pose, but you really don't need any more than that. That is a impressive level of detail on this model here. And then perhaps the most terrifying thing of all is the Labubu beast. Now this may be an unpopular opinion, but whenever I see those Labubus, this is pretty much what I'm going to imagine going forward from now on. Something to this effect. Daybreak Miniatures has a release over on the fantasy video we'll look at, but they do have a couple of busts every month, and I like to include busts over here when I can, because, again, this is about models, and those are the types of things that I think fit. Dino and Dog are giving us a preview, and I don't see anything new since the October preview, so we'll look at those models again. And if there is a more official release, I'll update in a future video. Of course, a couple of dragons for their dragon tier. Dungeons and Maidens. I hope I have the month right, but this is a new one. Here's Astralin. Fate's End has several different things to look at here for the month of October. These are Reliquary of the Restless. There's a Dice Guardian Headless Horseman, a Storage Tome of the Headless Horseman, a Cat Pumpkin Pal, a Folding Cthulhu Dice Tower, that's kind of neat, a Rogue Ducky Toy, Jewelry Box Vampire's Reliquary, Custom Object Gravestone, you can put whatever you want on it, as well as a Dragon Pumpkin Pal. So some nice October themed items from Fate's End this month. Flexi Town has been pretty busy. They've got 5 releases already. Here's number 1, Flexi Piccolo, part of the Dragon Ball Z collection. Number 2 is Flexi Shenron, Dragon Ball Z collection as well. And then for more, I guess, spirit of the month things, we have a Flexi Flip Flop Zombie, a Flexi Cute Monster, and a Flexi Butcher Zombie. Irnkman's Minis has put out their Spooktober 2025 release. Here's also, I think you get some of the throwbacks or your choice of throwback. I forget exactly how it works with Irnkman's, but that's what you can see from previous releases. Again, we have the Knight and Hornet. I'm seeing a lot of inspiration from this game currently. Baphomet and Beta Whack, which is like a Pokemon cross evolution there. Aya Brea and Freddy, Slayer, and several different Digimon I'm not going to attempt to name here. Morrigan and Dark Necrofear, Yoki and Bruiser, and Komilos. Mammoth Props is going kind of spooky this month. We have a Madness Dice Tower, and here is a Knock Staff. I'm not sure the inspiration for that one offhand. That's not a word I'm familiar with. Here's a Deathbound Hulk Treat Basket and a smaller version for a lantern. Here is a Woldling Book Nook and a Woldling Wall Mount. And finally, some Soul Eater paint caps that you can change out as well. New to my video is Mayatomr. I'm probably mispronouncing that. So we have Anne the Vampire, Matron Drusilla, and Woeful Willow. So a couple of different options for these characters here. You can also change out the pumpkin on her back with other props as well. And here's Woeful Willow with her dripping axe. Miniatures of Madness has a succubus vampire that you could have here. She's in her throne room with her, what would you call that? Her basin of blood nearby. So you can put her in the model as well. She has these wings, and her hands are dripping blood as well. You can see roses in front and on the back. She also comes with a bust as well. Nerikson has put out their October release. We'll look at a little more detail than we did before the preview. Dark Ending seems to be, was she the queen? There's a crown that has fallen at her side. Not sure what the inspiration is here for. There's a lot of story that has not been quite told here. Camellia, the Dark Summoner, has her, I guess, charm, her token nearby. And she gives me kind of Red Riding Hood vibes with that wolf creature thing down below. No light found in the eternal darkness. Actually, there's two of them. The other one I thought was a bush for a second. Gladiator Swordsman. Just a really well done gladiator. Got the detail on his shield. He's wrapped it in cloth and in rope. Just again, Nerikson always amazes me with all the details. This is Ivar. Novac Dawn has put out Kelthar the Dark Scribe. And just for sake here, since it's a one model, I felt like it was more of a display piece, and we'd include it over here as well. NS Miniatures, in my opinion, don't really fit well in fantasy or sci-fi. It's kind of that modern Cthulhu vibe, so I put it in here mostly. The color Out of Space. So these are mutated animals. And again, another mutated animal with Stranger Things coming. That looks kind of familiar, doesn't it? And the well, I guess this is where everything comes from. This is the Gardner family. And it looks like they've all been infected or bothered by whatever it is that's going on here. That has also mutated some plants and not just the animals. Parasite Collectibles is doing Gorgrash the Ripper. We put the models over in the fantasy video, but there's a bust, so we'll include it over here. Polymind has given us a preview of Overt Kill. I'm not familiar with this one. It's interesting to see the artwork here, how different he looks in both pictures. And they have actually put out some renders of this model that's releasing in just a few days, apparently. The level of detail on this guy, like, man, goes maybe drinking a little too much coffee. Crazy detail. Then Death Dealer in the later in October, and then rounding out Halloween with the Scarlet Spider. I don't know that we'll be able to fit that into a video since it's so close to the end of the month, but if we can, we will. Print and Paint Miniatures has several things going on, but again, a couple of busts, and we'll include them over here. The Duskbringer Elf, and then a throwback of the Fawn. Most of these models are made to print on FDM as well, so they look a little different from some of the crazy detail you see in other places, but that's because you want to be able to print them on FDM. Punga Miniatures has fantasy football teams, and again, we'll have this in the fantasy video, but I wanted to have it over here in models because, again, you know, that fantasy football game vibe doesn't quite fit anywhere else. These are Dracoslavia models, and in addition, there's Rob and Jamie, a couple of announcers. A couple of, some with hats and without hats. I actually think I like them better with the hats. RNE Studio has put out what I believe, if I'm reading the comments properly, is Final Fantasy VIII characters. And of course that monster there, I'm not going to even try to name it, but you know, it does look like Final Fantasy now that's been pointed out. These are characters from Dragon Ball. And I think, of course, we can all tell these are Power Rangers. For the champion tier, I'm pretty sure these are characters from Invincible. Was that Omni-Man and Invincible? And what's her name? Adam's Eve, and I don't know the other two offhand. I need to. I've only watched season 1. I need to go catch up on that. For their My Mini Factory Tribes release, we have Sovereigns and Salons, Louis XV and Pompadour. So just kind of some classical pieces. If you know a history teacher that would be interested in these, I would, you know, be sure to put them out. I can't imagine using these in very many games, but definitely pretty cool for some, like, you know, noble people and such. Townsfolk. Sassy Cat 3D has Fuganor Fire Dragon BAD, and BAD stands for Build a Dragon, meaning that you put the pieces together to make it as long as you want. I believe that's what it is. And as well, Infected Dragon, Build a Dragon. Sculptooner, I think I've sometimes included and other times have not, has really working on their style. Everything here is stylized, and of course you can see it's the Scorpion King on the left and the right, and then we have Hercules and Xena in the middle there. Here are the models printed off, so pretty cool stuff to see here. I don't often include Stationforge in these videos unless it's like a really amazing piece, but they just started up a new tribe called Revcults. And Revcults is them trying to make a 3D printable car that snaps together without glue. Still very early, but they figured it'd be fun to share the process as it takes shape. The goal is to make it modular enough so you can swap parts, change wheels, mix kits, and just build something that feels like yours. So kind of I guess they didn't had too much free time on their hands. I can't imagine that, but $3 monthly. It was only 6 people when I looked at it and was putting the video together. So if you want to jump into this and have any interest, be sure to check it out. I'll try to include a link down below. Tanuki Figures has only given us really the lineup models here. So here is everything we can see that is coming forth. Some pretty interesting, exciting stuff coming out. I don't know all of these franchises, all these models, as well as this is the Legacy Bundle. So I'm assuming this is their equivalent of the, it says exclusive for Platinum members, but I am assuming this is similar to like a throwback set. Toonz Factory has put out sneak peeks of Flexi Mini Zombie, Werewolf, and Grim Reaper. And we've had enough time pass that they've actually printed them off to show us what they look like as a print. And we have some Flexi Horse Skeleton to look forward to, but no print just yet. TPK Lab usually does busts and is an easy fit into this video here. This is the Baby Snatcher Hag, the Skinned Clown, the Pumpkin Head Bust, and then the Baby Snatcher Hag Bust, and the Skinned Clown Bust. And this is the Pumpkin Head, but I can't help but wonder if this is the actual bust and not the other one. I don't know. And scenery. Tri-Dimension Prints, which is a sister or site to Toonz Factory, has the Flexi Cat Skeleton. This, of course, is a sneak peek render. Here is what it looks like actually printed. Multicolors, whatever, however you want to do it, it works. And then they have a sneak peek of a Flexi Bigfoot and Yeti. I know a guy a few counties over that would probably love to have a Flexi Bigfoot. Twin Goddess Minis has given us all of these models here. Let's look at each one. We have Neil the Goblin Witch, Narlath the Observer, Dana the Lantern Bearer, Ulcine the Soothsayer, Patina the Druid. It's a good name for a druid. Vladimira the Hunter, or would that be a Huntress? And Peppo the Pumpkin Wizard. Now, does that mean they wizard pumpkins, or they are a pumpkin? Ugni Miniatures also does fantasy football, and this month they're doing the Iron Whiskers, a Ratman proxy group. Pretty nice looking models if you like some Ratman style football players. Here's 4 of the 8 linemen. Here are the other 4 linemen. 2 throwers. 4 runners. 2 blitzers. And of course, what's a rat team without a rat ogre, as well as a bust of that rat ogre too. Here are some team tokens and some balls. Vermillion Miniatures has given us this preview here. Still a work in progress. VS3D is shown Novac from Blade 2. I need to go back and rewatch those movies. The original Blade was such a good movie. Scarecrow from Batman the Animated Series. Very well done. Notice you can either put his scythe in one hand or this Batman hood. And I thought it was spray paint in his hand. I was like, oh, wait a second. It's Scarecrow. It's his fear toxin. Or fear spray. And there's an early render of something else coming. Warp Miniatures I usually don't include, but these models are just so cute and amazing that I had to include them. This is the Cryptid crew, and I have a soft spot for cryptids. Here we see Nessie and we see Mothman. Here we see Bigfoot, and I'm not sure what the one on the right is supposed to be, like a will-o-wisp maybe or something. But I feel like if they had done the Bigfoot in brown, it would have been almost perfect for the one to match the Goofy movie Bigfoot. I don't know. Here's a couple of jackalopes. And I'm going to take a guess that this is a chupacabra, you know, the goat eater, because that looks like a half-eaten goat. New to my videos, I do believe, is ZEZ Studio, and ZEZ is giving us a preview of what's coming for the month of October. A xenomorph, a werewolf, scarecrow, spawn on throne, and a couple of chibis. Now, they've already started to put out some of these models, so here are some better renders of the werewolf. Spawn on throne. And just a very early look of the xenomorph. Well, folks, thanks for watching. I hope you follow along with us. I'll probably go and put this video up first because I think it works better with the algorithm for YouTube. I'm not much of a guru with that, and I'm too small of a channel for it to even matter. But anyway, this will probably be the first of the videos, and I'm going to go record and prepare the other ones, and I will see you soon. Thanks for watching.